The Bengals take care of business, earn a playoff rematch with the Ravens. Mike Petraglia inside Paycor Stadium. We're here on Sunday. The Bengals beat the Baltimore Ravens 27-16. They finished 12-4. They also finished with the number 3 seed in the upcoming AFC playoffs. The Bengals will play the Ravens next weekend in the wild card round. The Buffalo Bills beat the New England Patriots 35-23 on clearly a very emotional day in Buffalo. Hearts going out all around the NFL, not just in Buffalo, also here in Cincinnati and everywhere. NFL games were played this weekend for the recuperating Damar Hamlin, who is still here in Cincinnati at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. He was actually able to watch his Buffalo Bills take care of the New England Patriots, eliminating the Patriots from the postseason. The number 7 playoff team, by the way, in the AFC will be the Miami Dolphins. They will play the Buffalo Bills, the number 2 seed, next weekend in the wild card round. That means Jacksonville will play host to the Los Angeles Chargers. But as for the Bengals, it was not always pretty here on Sunday afternoon. The Bengals jump out to a 17-0 lead, and you would think they would cruise home from there. They did not. Joe Burrow, after the game, admitting he missed some throws today on open touchdown looks, for instance, to T. Higgins that he normally makes, and he was just way off. It just so happened on that missed throw to T. Higgins, very next play, he came back and threw a touchdown pass to Jamar Chase, who high-pointed the ball. A couple of milestones here on Sunday in the 27-16 victory. One of them belongs to Joe Burrow. He threw his 36th touchdown pass, a new single-season record, breaking his old mark from last season in 2021. So Joe Burrow finishes the regular season with 36 touchdown passes. He had just that one today to Jamar Chase. As for Jamar Chase, he passes 1,000 yards for the second straight year, both of his years in the National Football League, of course. He actually cleared 1,000 yards on the 26-yard touchdown pass from Joe Burrow in the second quarter. But later in the second quarter, he had a 2-yard loss that put him back below 1,000 yards. But later in the second half, it was Jamar Chase with a 10-yard gain, and he did finish north of 1,000 yards for the second straight year. An amazing accomplishment considering Jamar Chase, because of injury, his hip injury earlier in the year, only played 12 games. So Jamar Chase goes over 1,000 yards in just 12 regular season games this year. The story of the game, really, the Bengals defense, as it has all year long when the Bengals offense starts to sputter, as it did here on Sunday afternoon, they picked up the slack. And how about Drew Chrisman's game today? The Bengals punter, to put it the way Joe Burrow put it, he punted the crap out of the ball, and he didn't say crap. So anyway, Joe Burrow and the rest of the Bengals appreciated the 2 50-plus yard punts inside the 20 that Chrisman pulled off. The 56-yarder inside the 10-yard line put the Ravens at the 5-yard line with under 2 minutes to go in the first half. And later on the drive, on 3rd and 9, Trey Hendrickson was able to break through and strip sack the Anthony Brown, the Ravens quarterback, on the play. The strip sack was recovered in the end zone by Joseph Asai for a touchdown. That was a big moment of the game because you could feel the Ravens kind of creeping back in at 17-7. Kenyon Drake had a 4-yard touchdown run to make it 17-7, but that touchdown by Joseph Asai made it 24-7, gave the Bengals some breathing room going into halftime. Again, their offense really sputtered in the second half. Only 3 points, a 34-yard field goal from Evan McPherson. Joe Burrow says they have all the confidence in the world. They have what it takes to make another playoff run. And of course, if they are going to do that, it would wind up in Glendale in Super Bowl 57 on February 12th. But by Burrow's own admission, they have to clean some things up. But once the game was over, there was a celebratory mood in the Bengals locker room. Cigars abound, as was the case last year, but nobody got to see it because of COVID protocols. This year, it was like a club party inside the Bengals locker room. Everybody lighting up a cigar, including Joe Mixon and Cheeto Awuzie, of course, missed some time and missed the end of the season, the last half of the season, due to the torn ACL. A couple of other notes in this game. Joe Mixon had a touchdown celebration that was epic in this game. He scored a 1-yard touchdown run to put the Bengals up 10-0 late in the first quarter. And after the touchdown, he pulls out a coin from his glove, flips it in the air to mimic a coin toss, of course, mimicking what the NFL was going to do had the Bengals lost this game, and finished with a 11-5 record, just a half game ahead of the Ravens. A coin toss would have determined where next week's Ravens-Bengals playoff game would be, but that was taken out of question with the Bengals winning. But anyway, Joe Mixon says that he was just having some fun. Yes, he took the advice of Chad Johnson on Twitter, Ocho Cinco, suggesting, I'll pay the fine if you do this celebration. And sure enough, Mixon did the celebration, kicked the coin away with some help from T. Higgins and Jamar Chase in the background. But it was a great moment for the Bengals kind of to blow off some steam. It's been an emotional week for the Cincinnati Bengals, and it was good to see them blow off some steam. Unfortunate news for the Bengals, and we'll have to wait and see on this. Alex Kappa, in the second half, late in the second half, had his left ankle rolled up on. He left the game on a cart, went to the Bengals locker room, and I saw him with crutches in the locker room, actually coming out of the shower. He was on one of those carts that support the injured leg that was he was riding to his locker. He was able to put on his pants with no problem, but again, he was favoring that left ankle. We will find out later in the week, certainly more, as to the severity of the issue. And Max Sharping, if he has to fill in, the Bengals, to a man, including Ted Karras, said they have full faith in him. But Ted Karras also kind of emotional after the game, saying that no one has meant more to the offensive line and its productivity and its stability than Alex Kappa has this year. So stay tuned on that. But again, it was a joyous and celebratory Bengals locker room after they actually got their T-shirts and hats here on Sunday afternoon after a 27-16 win over the Baltimore Ravens. The Bengals finished the season at 12-4, and they get ready for a rematch, just like the Bengals did with the Houston Oilers in 1990. Bengals managed to win both of those games in advance in the playoffs. Bengals hope to win and advance next week against the Ravens. We'll have you covered on Twitter at Trags, TRAGS, on clnsmedia.com. And of course, subscribe and click on the link below on the Jungle Roar YouTube podcast page. Want to hear all of your comments, good, bad, and indifferent. Inside Paycor Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.